You're doing more than earning your pay by churning out cars. You're standing up for this company. You're sticking up for this way of life. You're scoring one for the home team and showing the world that American manufacturing and American industry is back. Now, I don't want to pretend like everything's solved. We've still got a long way to go. Not just in this industry, but in our economy, for all our friends, all our neighbors who are still feeling the sting of recession. There's nobody here who doesn't know someone who's looking for work and hasn't found something yet. Even though the economy is growing, even though it's created more than 2 million jobs over the past 15 months, we still face some tough times. We still face some challenges. This economy took a big hit. It's just like if you had a bad illness, if you got hit by a truck, it's going to take a while for you to mend. And that's what's happened to our economy. It's taking a while to mend. And there's still some headwinds that are coming at us. Lately, it's been high gas prices that have caused a lot of hardship for a lot of working families. And then you had the economic disruptions following the tragedy in Japan. You've got the instability in the Middle East, which makes folks uncertain. There are always going to be bumps on the road to recovery. We're going to pass through some rough terrain that even a Wrangler would have a hard time with. We know that. Say, Wrangler can go over anything, huh? But you know what? We know what's happened here. We know what's possible when we invest in what works. And just as we succeeded in retooling this industry for a new age, we've got to rebuild this whole economy for a new age so that the middle class doesn't just survive, but it also thrives. These are tight fiscal times. You guys have all heard about the deficit and the debt, and that demands that we spend wisely, cut everywhere that we can. We've got to live within our means. Everybody's got to do their part. Middle-class workers like you, though, shouldn't be bearing all the burden. You work too hard for someone to ask you to pay more so that somebody who's making millions or billions of dollars can pay less. That's not right. And even though we're in tough times, there's still some things that we've got to keep on doing if we're going to win the future. We can't just sit back and stop. We got business we got to do. We got to make sure that our schools are educating our kids so that they can succeed. I was looking at all the gizmos and gadgets you've got in this plant here. It's a lot more complicated working on a plant than it used to be. Kids have to know math and science. We got to have a transportation and communications network that allows our businesses to compete. We used to have the best roads, the best bridges, the best airports. In a lot of places, we don't have that anymore. You go to China, Beijing, they got a fancier airport. You go to Europe, they got fancier trains, better roads. We can't let our infrastructure just crumble and fall apart. We're America. We've got to make that investment. We've got to invest in innovation that will pave the way for future prosperity. We invented stuff that the world now uses and the world now makes. We've got to keep on inventing stuff and make sure it's made right here in America. And that requires investment. That requires investments in basic research and basic science. So these are all things that will help America out-innovate, out-educate, out-compete, out-hustle everybody else in the world. I want America to win the future. And I want our future to be big and optimistic, not small and fearful. So we've got a lot of hard work that's left to do, Ohio. We've got a lot of work to do. But we're going to get there. And if anybody tells you otherwise, I want you to remember the improbable turnaround that's taken place here at Chrysler. I want you to remember all those folks who were, all those voices who were saying no, we can't. Because Toledo, you showed that this was a good investment, betting on America's workers. What we see here is a proud reminder that in difficult times, Americans, they dig deep, they recapture the toughness that makes us who we are, builders and doers, who never stop imagining a better future. So what I see here is a reminder of the character that makes us great. That we're people who will forge a better future because that's what we do. What I see here is an America that is resilient, an America that understands that when we come together, nobody can stop us. So I tell you what, I'm going to keep on betting on you, and as long as I continue to have the privilege of being the President of the United States, I'm going to keep fighting alongside you for a future that is brighter for this community, for Toledo, for Ohio, for America. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.